what is the power of an in-person VIP intensive day? And how do you know if attending one or hosting one is right for you and your business? My name is Christine McAllister, and I am the Huffington Post featured founder of the six-figure business coaching business Life with Passion. And I help high-achieving women to quit their jobs, stay out of the corporate world, and build businesses that they love and can run from anywhere. So I'd love for you to say hi if you're joining me live or on the replay. Say hi in the comments. Say where you're joining us from so I can say hi back. And I'm going to quickly share this with my Facebook group, Life with Passion Society. Now, VIP days are something that have actually been a part of my business since the very, very beginning. Literally before I had my first client, before I had made $1 in my business, I decided that a VIP day was something that I wanted to attend for myself. So I wanted to share a little bit about that story. So when I signed up for my very first group coaching program in 2015, the coaching program that led to me getting my very first clients and launching Life with Passion and all of that, there was an optional VIP day that was part of that, and it was in Europe. And I saw that, and my heart just leapt, and I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing? But then almost in the same sentence, I said, I'm not the kind of person who just hops on a plane and goes to Europe for a one-day event, right? But it didn't change the fact that it was something I wanted. And so I decided that I was going to figure out a way to do it. Like, it was still a few months off, and I just loved the idea. I had no idea how I was going to pay for it. My business wasn't generating any income at that time, but I was like, I got to do this. Like, I'm just getting chills after chills after chills just talking about it. I had to do it. I knew I wanted to. I knew it was like a dream come true for me. And so fast forward to a few months later, I figured out a way to pay for it. I used the money that I was generating in my previous business, which was an online marketing business. I hustled. I got some extra clients. I decided that's what I was going to do. I decided I needed it. I decided I wanted it. I decided it was a dream come true. And I turned it into a 2-week vacation for my husband and me, which I had been dreaming of forever, to go to Italy and to go to England and to include this VIP day as part of it. And it was totally magical. It was totally magical. So when I made that decision, I went from being a person who was like, oh, I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. That's not something that I do. That's not meant for me, to like, no, now I literally am a person who gets on a plane to go to Europe for a VIP day for her business. Now, while I was there, I was hosting discovery calls, and I can remember, like, sometimes the Wi-Fi was spotty, and it was like, oh, it was, an adventure, right? Time zones and all of that. I still hadn't gotten my first paying client. But some of the women that I talked to while I was there became my first paying clients. And so it was like, by showing up for myself in that way and like deciding that this was important to me, my dreams and my business, and like as part of how I wanted to live my life, I believe that determination helped me take the action to get those first paying clients, right? And now, less than 2 years later, Life with Passion is a 6-figure business, and I've gotten to help clients all over the world to quit their jobs and, start their dream businesses and travel as well. So what about these recent VIP days that I have hosted, right? I knew that this was something that I really wanted to make a big part of my business. And because a lot of my business, I've been pregnant or, raising an infant, the freedom that has come with like being home and being able to set my own schedule has worked really, really well for me. And also like during those times, travel wasn't quite as easy or as feasible as I would have loved for it to be. And so now that my baby Fiora is 1, it's become more, it's just become a little bit easier to travel, right? So I had hosted them a little bit at the beginning of my business, and now I'm hosting them again. And I was thinking about and reflecting on the big lessons that I have taken away from the recent ones that I've hosted in Colorado and here in Kentucky, and I wanted to share a few of those with you today. So number one, I think that a VIP day offers you a ton of clarity, right? Like the power of being in person and being able to have that like instant back and forth, and all of the facial expressions, the body language that just like go back and forth, right? That clarity I think is super, super powerful and unique. That in-depth back and forth that you can have over that period of time lends to kind of a special kind of clarity that you can only get in an in-person VIP day. Now, I think that a lot of times coaching calls can be super, super powerful as well, but I also think sometimes it might be easy for you to get distracted or like come to a call thinking about all the other things that you have going on that day, what you did before, how your day is going, what you're doing afterward. Maybe you've got browser tabs open. I mean, that's up to you, right? But like, it is so much easier to be focused and fully present when you have traveled somewhere, when you have, gotten dressed and you have shown up at this like beautiful, inspiring physical space to meet one-on-one with someone, and all you're doing for the day is working on your business. Like you have dedicated that day and that trip, right, to yourself and to your business as a purpose of why you're going. You're not fitting it into your day where you're doing a bunch of other things. So I think that lends itself to a very powerful type of clarity that you get when you show up in that way. I think another thing that you get that's unique to a VIP day is a really special type of courage, right? Of course, it takes courage to commit to yourself and to your business and to show up. Like you heard me say, I did that before I had a paying client, but I knew I wanted it. I knew it was going to help me, and I showed up, right? I think it takes courage to commit in that way. And so you gain more courage by committing. And then you also gain confidence by like sitting in that room together and maybe feeding off of each other, right? So like I know that for my clients, they get to borrow a little bit of my belief in them at the times when they're not feeling so full of belief themselves. Pogo in the background, saying hello, his little curly tail. You get to borrow a little bit of that belief, right? You get to summon that courage, not only to show up, but like now you are a courageous person who has shown up, is spending the day on your business in that way. And that then breeds more confidence, if that makes sense. Like, which is just an amazing, beautiful cycle, right? So like, for instance, my VIP days are 6 hours long, which amounts to 90 days worth of coaching and support in one day. One day, right? Like that right there is like, yeah, like I'm a woman who just knocked out 90 days of work for my business in one day. Like how much more confidence does that give you, right? And I think also like being able to sit next to someone and go back and forth and like dig deep into those self-doubt issues, dig deep into whatever is holding you back from feeling confident. Those things right there bust through a lot of what's been holding you back so that you walk away from that day feeling super accomplished, feeling super confident, feeling super clear, right? I think another thing is the level of visibility that you get from doing a VIP day, right? Like you get to talk about how you are meeting up with your coach in person, and you get to talk about like, you know, this beautiful, inspiring space and how you're showing up for your business, and you get to share that with your audience. You get to share your takeaways, and you get to show up as a person who did that for her business, right? I think that another thing is like in the way that I've designed my days, hold on, the dogs are wrestling. That's enough. Hey, Isaac, come. Lay down. Sorry. You get to work specifically on your visibility because you get to end the day with a joint live stream with me, right? And so it's like during the day we work on your visibility. We work on your visibility. We create a 90-day visibility plan. We might be working on creating your packages and your pricing if you don't have those yet. But like you don't get to just kind of go, oh yeah, that's going to be my package and I'll put it out there like when I feel ready. No, we end the day with like you announcing that to the world so that you get to walk away not letting fear hold you back anymore, not letting self-doubt hold you back anymore. Like you've done it. You put it out there and it's part of the day. It's built in, right? And even if you don't feel ready when you walk in, which I don't think most people do, by the end of the day, going through the process, working together, you do feel ready, right? And then you have me to interview you on the live stream, talk about, you know, what you've learned, talk about your business, and like draw that out in you. Because I think one of the things that's a little different about me maybe is that I have a background in video production, right? So my favorite part of producing documentaries was interviewing people. And I was really, really good, and still do this on occasion for fun, at pulling people out, right? At getting them to feel comfortable, even if they hate being on camera, and getting them to give really real, raw answers, really real, like open. And I had one woman who was on the subject of my documentary about horses, and she was like, I won't let anybody else interview me, Christine. Like, I'm shy. I hate being on camera. You make me feel like I can forget that the camera is there and I can just have a conversation with you, right? And so I think that, you know, my clients feel that too when we're doing this with this live stream to my community, is this, it's just fun, right? And we're sipping our favorite happy hour drinks, and like, so it's easy to get visible in that way. And then the hardest part is done. And then you've already put yourself out there, right? And then you've announced it. There's no like, oh, I've got to wait until the time is perfect. Random story, but a couple of years ago, some of my friends who are founded the Entrepreneur Hall of Fame here in Kentucky took me along to interview Papa John, who headquartered here in Kentucky and lives just down the road actually. And they brought me in to interview him because they had founded this thing, but they didn't know anything about video production. And I got him talking and saying things on camera that later he was like, you better not use that stuff because that can get me in a lot of trouble. Like he just felt so comfortable. He just, and it was fascinating to get to, you know, interact one-on-one with this ultra wealthy man who just felt so comfortable, you know, talking back and forth that he just let it go. I don't know where that footage is, but it needs to be kept under wraps. That's my story. Very, very fun. Nice guy. I think his daughter is also named Christine, so we had an instant connection. Anyway, so your visibility is something else that you learn in, and that you get to practice right away in a VIP day. And one of my clients recently, like when we started the day, I said, oh, you know, we're going to work on, we need to set up your first package and price it. And, you know, maybe we can announce it at the end of the day in the live stream. And she was like, oh no, we're not doing that. Like, no way. Right. And by the end of the day, yes, we did. Right. Because she had worked through those blocks. We were able to break those down, and we were able to, look at exactly like what needed to happen in order for her to show up that way, and then allow her to show up that way. We also had developed like a very clear plan for her that started with this day, right? A very clear plan that actually went out for the rest of the year for 90 days, exactly how she was going to show up every day, every week, every month in order to sell her packages, in order to reach her business goals. And so that's a big part of the way that my days are designed as well, is to like leave you not only walking away with clarity, not only walking away with confidence and courage, not only walking away with that instant visibility, right? But also clarity on exactly how, a clear plan on exactly how to show up for the next 90 days for your business, right? So you know exactly how to be visible, and you've already gotten visible. You're feeling great about it because look at how much you just got done in one day, 90 days worth of work in one day. And then you have another 90 days clear plan to carry you out over the next quarter. In this case, if you're watching this live, for the rest of 2017, oh my gosh, right? All those amazing habits are showing up for your business and getting you the results, because I say often that you need to do something consistently for 90 days to see the results of it. All of this leads to this overarching, amazing feeling of productivity, right? Like you walk away from a VIP day feeling so productive, right? It's like, you know, you walk away, like I take notes on a big notepad, and you know, my clients went home with them, and like as we reflect on, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff we did starting this morning, and like now it's only 3 o'clock, and look at all the stuff we've done, right? How amazing is that? You tangibly walk away going, this is all laid out, this is amazing. And then you also have this deep sense of knowing, like I dedicated one day, just one day of my life to myself, to my business, to showing up in this big way. Look at what I walked away with. Look at what I am walking away with. Wow, that momentum carries you forward, you know? And I think as high achievers, we all have this deep desire to be productive, right? To know that we're managing our time well, to know that like we're checking things off of our to-do list. And that is a really great way to boost your confidence that you're being super productive in a very, very tangible way that's going to lead to results in your business. Now, I was thinking about this morning. It's super interesting. This summer, I chose the places where I was going to host VIP days this fall. And the two places that I chose for the fall are Texas and Florida. Isn't that weird? Like these states that are going through so much, right? The states of emergency and the cleanup and all of these things. You know, I grew up in Florida, and so like hurricanes, something I'm very familiar with. My family is super familiar with. My grandparents lost their home in the last decade, in the 2000s, based on from a hurricane. And I lived in Central Florida, but my parents spent weeks without power, and so I chose to do two VIP days two VIP locations in October. The first one is Miami, and we're still going. I'm still going. It's in just a few weeks' time. I'm really actually excited about going and bringing that money like back into the local economy, renting a place to host that VIP day from like a local homeowner, and also you know, supporting local restaurants, supporting all of those things, and getting to celebrate like that place that even though the hurricane has just come through, it's still there, it's still vibrant, and we can add back into it by showing up there. So I'm still going. I still have one day left in Miami for this type of results, this type of clarity, this type of courage, this type of visibility, this type of productivity, and a clear plan. And the one in Miami is so cool because Lacey Seitz, my dear friend, she has offered to do a bonus session for the client who takes the Miami day, the client who chooses the Miami day, which is like an amazing extra offer. And there's a possibility that I might even have one more bonus for that person who might be joining us to provide a bonus. And so that one is really, really exciting, and it's coming up. And so if you're dreaming of like a tangible way to support Miami and Southern Florida and what they're going through, and also get to see and be a part of a beautiful spot and get all these results in your business, then reach out to me and I'm happy to provide you all the details about the Miami day. The other thing about these VIP days that I have designed is that they also come with a full month of private coaching afterward, because I don't want you to walk away from the day and be like, this is amazing, and get home and be like, oh, I was on such a high and now I don't have any support to follow through. No, I want you to have a support for the next month to be able to ask whatever questions you want. If you're like, oh my gosh, we did so much in that day, I can't quite remember how this thing went or that thing went, like I want to work with Christine, you get calls, you get email access to me. It's both, right? It's this really powerful in-person day and then ongoing support for a month afterward. And the way I've priced these is like a low introductory rate. It's probably about half of what they're actually worth, or what they cost. And so I want you to know that too, because I'm keeping this rate through the end of 2017. The other place is Central Texas, and that's going to be on a beautiful horse farm. And so if you are like, maybe your heart's for Texas, maybe you've always wanted to visit there, maybe you're a huge Gaines fan and you want to go to Magnolia, maybe you want to go to Austin, whatever it is, like that's possible for you too if you want to make a trip out of that one. And that's coming up a couple weeks later in October. We're one day left for each of those. And I'll say this, like my family and I are already donating for hurricane relief in our own private way, but I'm going to make additional donations as part of the payment, out of the payment for the remaining Miami day and the remaining Texas day, to support local efforts in those states, right? Those states are very, very close to my heart. I grew up in Florida. I spent 2 amazing years in grad school in Central Texas. And so I love both states. Maybe part of the reason that I chose those places is so we could go and we could tangibly support them, giving back to local homeowners, local business owners, and then also donating directly to hurricane relief efforts out of the cost of the intensive. So if you're interested in this type of results, this type of clarity, this type of confidence, a clear plan, the productivity that comes from showing up for yourself and working on your business for just one day, plus getting my support for a whole month afterward to implement, and execute and continue to get more clarity and get that momentum going so that it's a habit, right? Of visibility, of confidence, like a confidence habit, right? Those are the types of things I would love to help you with. And I'd also love to hear from you. Like, have you ever been a part of a VIP day? Maybe you participated in one like I did when you were first starting your business, or you have recently and you found certain results from it. I'd love for you to share in the comments below. If you have questions about the VIP days that I'm offering, feel free, please reach out to me. You can PM me, you can email me, info@lifewithpassion.com. I'd love to answer questions for you. I'd love to send you more details. I'd love to welcome you for one of these amazing, amazing days. The momentum that the clients who have chosen these for their businesses and themselves is incredible and continues and will continue to grow. And I'd love for you to consider one for your business too. Like I said, I traveled to Europe and found a way to do it before I had paying clients. I turned it into a vacation, and it was all around this dream that I had to meet up with my coach for one day over there. And I just knew it was something I wanted to do. And I dreamed about it. I took action around it. And even though I hadn't had a paying client yet, I believe that showing up for myself in that way and being able to share with my community that I was this serious about my business, that I had traveled to work with a coach in that way, I believe that helped me to get my first clients, right? And I know that some of my clients would say the same. So something so unique about these VIP day takeaways. If these are the types of things you're looking for in your business, that clarity, that focus, that productivity, and fast results, right? 90 days worth of results in one day, then maybe a VIP day is for you. Questions, comments, takeaways, insights you want to add, please share them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer any questions or to celebrate the results maybe that you've gotten from a VIP day as well. Thanks for joining me. I'm Christine McAllister of Life with Passion, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.